Although it is nearly impossible to come across texts from prior reading in Section 1, it is equally impossible to score well without extensive reading. Ideally, you want to have reading as a pastime, naturally going through hundreds of thousands of words across a variety of texts, such as fiction, news, and scientific articles. I didn't include poetry because, let's be honest, nobody reads poems as a hobby. If unfortunately this isn't you, I recommend setting aside significant time dedicated to focused and fast reading, and you should start doing this 6 to 12 months prior to the test. English tests are designed for non-native speakers and are used to distinguish functional users from beginners. On the other hand, Section 1 and 2 are designed for native speakers and aim to distinguish those whose literacy skills are above average. These skills include understanding and expression and can only be gained through years of using English. To put things into perspective, getting full marks in IELTS and PTE is quite an achievement, but it should be seen as only an entry ticket to GAMSAT. Anyone who gets over 60 in Section 1 and 2 can easily ace these English tests. This explains why it is very rare for ESL candidates to score higher than local candidates in Section 1 and 2. We simply have not been using the language as much to master it. The best we can hope for is scores comparable to native speakers, and hopefully do well in Section 3, where the playing field is even. This is where practice questions and test-taking strategies come in. When you choose the correct answer, it should not be because you feel like it is the best fit, but because there is hard evidence from the text that suggests it is. For example, in this question, sadness and melancholy are the distractors because although it can be sad to recall old memories, this was not explicitly stated in the prompt, and we as readers cannot add our own emotions to the protagonist. Furthermore, sadness and melancholy have very similar meanings, and there is not enough information from the text to differentiate them, meaning that they are unlikely to be correct. Regret may seem fitting. However, Thomas hasn't done anything to be regretful of. You could argue he regrets having forgotten his past, but again, this would be our subjective interpretation. The text only states that Thomas is reminded of a time in his past when this certain relic meant a lot to him, and this objectively fits the definition of nostalgia. See how the process is almost like picking apart a Section 3 question? It is a good sign when you feel as confident in your choices in Section 1 as you are in Section 3. You can achieve rapid improvements by doing what I did, which is writing a whole lot of essays on generic topics, either from past exams or online sources such as quote generators. When you have written and edited 30 essays to your best ability, you would also have built an arsenal of ready-to-use examples and argumentative structures, meaning that you don't have to think much in the exam. Better yet, it becomes likely that you have practiced something similar to the topics in the exam. You would also have developed a tried-and-true strategy to tackle Part A and Part B. There's no fixed style of writing for Section 2, but argumentative for Part A and reflective for Part B work well in most circumstances. The major advantage of this strategy is that it showcases your ability to write well in both styles of writing. Additionally, with personal reflection, it is much easier to draw the reader's attention to your positive qualities, such as empathy, care, and appreciation for others' actions. I'm not saying it is a sin to feel more comfortable speaking your mother tongue, but staying in your comfort zone will not help you conquer GAMSAT. So just for a few months, pretend that you are a total Aussie or Kiwi and immerse yourself in English. You will thank yourself for it. Remember when I said finding answers in section 1 questions should be evidence-based? Yeah, that goes out the window when you're dealing with poetry. Poems, by definition, are supposed to capture emotion rather than meaning, thereby making it open to subjective interpretation. And besides, how is being able to appreciate old impressionist writings relevant to one's likelihood to succeed in medical school? I mean, normal texts I understand, but assessing candidates using fragmented English really doesn't seem like a scientifically based criterion. At any rate, poetry seems like the worst type of material to make MCQs from, especially for the purpose of selecting future doctors. Now imagine yourself as a marker for section 2, reading hundreds of hurriedly written essays in a span of a few days. What would more likely catch your eyes? Something that has a similar structure to others, or something that you genuinely enjoyed reading? Surely the latter. It does come with risks to write creatively when it comes to GAMSAT, but if you are confident with your writing skills, or the topic happens to be one you have prepared for, I'd say adding some flair to your language will likely lead to better marks. I want to end this video with a bit of update about myself. A lot of good things had happened since the last video. I got my permanent residency visa, had an interview with Griffith University, and received an offer from UC Medical School. So I guess I'm definitely doing medicine next year. The only question is where. Yes! Thank you guys for paying attention to this small channel, and I really hope what I share can help you get to where I am in the near future. Please stay tuned for videos on section 3 and other GAMSAT related content. Bye now.